Yeah. Hair flip. Yeah, I'm a badass bitch. I don't like it. Hair flip. Yeah. Oh my god. So you guys should be happy. Oh my goodness. Hair flip. But anyways, hair flip. And hair flipping on these hoes. Hi.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to your boy SeanDavieWay. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit that bell if you would like to be notified of all of our future content. Today we will be discussing Sean Paul. We'll talk about his early life and we'll also get into a lot of his music. We've done videos like this before. They're kind of like mini concerts. You get to hear some information about the artist as well as their music. We love these videos. I know I do. I enjoy listening to the playbacks and listening to the music as well. This is a prelude to a video that we have dropping of Surviving Jay-Z about a few situations that went down with Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Sean Paul and others. So make sure you tune into that. That video will be dropping tomorrow. Until then, let's get to know Sean Paul. Sean Paul. Sean was born Sean Paul Ryan Francis Henriquez. Was born in Kingston, Jamaica on January 9th, 1973. His mother Frances, a painter, is of English and Chinese Jamaican descent. His paternal grandfather's Sephardic Jewish family immigrated from Portugal to Jamaica in the 17th century, while his paternal grandmother was Afro-Jamaican. Paul was raised as a Catholic, though he attended a Jewish private school, Halil Academy, in Jamaica. Many of his members of his family, his grandfather was on the first Jamaican men's national water polo team. His father also played water polo for the team in the 1960s and competed in long-distance swimming, while Paul's mother was a butterfly swimmer. Paul played for the national water polo team from age 13 to 21, when he gave up the sport in order to launch his musical career. He attended Walmer's Boys School and the College of Arts, Science, and Technology, now known as University of Technology, where he was trained in commerce with an aim of pursuing an occupation in swimming. Sean Paul is very educated, and not only is he an intelligent man, he was on the water polo team for years. He spent the majority of his life swimming just like his predecessors, just like his father and his grandfather. So it's a really amazing thing, and his mother as well, to have everybody fluent in one thing, especially in a sport, because you know how hard it is. So I just think that that's amazing that it's like a generational thing that they were all swimmers, and Sean Paul has a son himself, so maybe his son will get into swimming too. I think that's dope. Sean Paul is also not a mutt, but a mutt. I mean, he is Afro-Jamaican. He is part Chinese. He is part Jewish. He's so many different things. So I think that knowing that background of his nationality kind of helps you get a better idea of now what he looks like. So it's just like, oh, okay, so those nationalities and those, that race makes up for your looks. Like, it explains why you look the way you look. But let's keep going. Former manager and producer Jeremy Harding, brother told him about a singer at a small open mic event in Kingston who sounded a lot like Supercat, the dancehall DJ and toaster. Harding eventually met the singer when Paul came by his studio to ask for some advice. During the meeting, Paul recorded a vocal over Harding's rhythm track and in the process created the song Baby Girl. Paul began hanging out at the studio every day, and the pair collaborated on several more tracks. When they recorded Infiltrate, they decided they had some good enough to get out on the radio. As Paul started to attract local attention, Harding began looking after his affairs. He later told Headquarters that his support of Paul's fledgling career initially led him assuming the role of DJ, manager, road manager, and security guard. Paul made a cameo appearance in the 1998 film Belly on the stage performing. He made a successful collaboration with DMX and Mr. Vegas, Top Shotta, to the soundtrack of the film. In 2000, Paul released his debut album, Stage 1, with VP Records.
Yo, hey, just give it a light and pass the job. Put another buckle of come on. Yeah, let me know it's tight and I got to know which one is gonna catch my flow, cause I'm in the vibe and I got my dough. Yeah, let me know it's tight and I got to shut the problem with the yo-yo. Protect us about in every sector. Every man around them wants on a inspector, but you know me them stressing I drill you with no lecture. But the power drill now them fi will inject us, cause them a infector, disease collector. None of them a go like them walk come wreck you. Don't know the part where you got in your center. Shut up all you have to tell them remember me go so yo. Just give it a light and pass the joe. What's another buckle of more? Yeah, let me know it's tight and I got to know which one is gonna catch my flow, cause I'm in the vibe and I got my dough. What's another buckle of? Yeah, let me know it's tight. Shut up all and with the yo we tell them say 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Situation getting really live again. They get them off the youngers with the players and the riders and the side. And them to them tired of the liars them. Flyers that can happen them will never get inside of them. They kind of them, especially the money out of them. Watch the girl about them and time to make a pride of them tonight again. Them a move like a Spider-Man. Wave your hand and sing along song, yo. Just give it a light. What's another buckle of more? Yeah, let me know it's tight and I got to know which one is gonna catch my flow, cause I'm in the vibe and I got my dough. What's another buckle of? Yeah, let me know it's tight. Hey, yo, people, yo, check it in. Yo, when I say Sean, you say Paul. Sean, Sean. When I say dirty, then you say yo, dirty, dirty. When I say Lugon, then you say Lugon.
In 2002, Paul continued his work with manager-producer Jeremy Harding. After a joint venture deal with his label VP Records, and Atlantic Records announced the release of his second album, Dirty Rock. Pushed by the success of the singles Gimme the Light and the Billboard Hot 100 topper Get Busy, the album was a worldwide success, eventually selling over 6 million copies. The album Dirty Rock won the Reggae Album of the Year at the 46th Annual Grammy Awards in 2004. Get Busy was also nominated for Best Rap Song in that year. Simultaneously, Paul was heard on Beyonce's US #1 single, Baby Boy, and Blue Contrail's Breathe, a chart hit in Europe. Both helped push his reputation further in the United States. This album also helped develop the genre of dancehall pop, a musical fusion between the rhythmic lines and styles of melodies of dancehall and pop music. He appeared on Punk'd, 106 & Park, Sean Paul's Respect, Making the Video, Get Busy, Gimme the Light, and Like Glue, and his music videos have been broadcast on MTV and BT.
John Paul, the girls them overall ever standing tall, and this is dancehall music, the son of reggae, the brother to hip hop. My album is called Dirty Rock, and you don't know this single is called Get Busy, so keep it locked. Track, a dirty, yeah. Nobody can tell you nothing, cause you don't know your destiny, girl. Sexy ladies want part with us in the car.
At this point, Sean Paul is doing great. He is spewing hit after hit after hit. And then there was an unforeseen hit, one that they didn't really expect to be as big as it became, and that was the song I'm Still in Love with You. It is a song by Jamaican recording artist Sean Paul for his second studio album, Dirty Rock, in 2002. It features vocals from Sasha. Released on October 6, 2003, the song reached number 6 in the United Kingdom and number 14 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. It also became a top 10 hit in Hungary, Italy, Ireland, and Switzerland. So this song was huge.
Some of y'all got some people that y'all with. Some of you single and looking for a man. Where you at? Alright. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when a man is on the grind, that's the worst time for a lady to disrespect. See? So all the ladies who know them now respect them man, them know so them are them number one. Push your hand up and say, yo, yo. But you say a man will just be a man. Y'all better believe that. So yo, in call it in and call the broken heart, this blessed love will never part. Don't know from the start, they'll tell them say a dirty end. Sasha, come sing for them baby girl and tell them. Say it as dirty, dirty love. I'm still in love with you. You know we had to find that's where he my love. I'm still in love. Yo, let me hear what gonna sing. Man, then they try to understand that's the way I give my love. Let me hear you sing. Yeah. What man gotta do? What a man gotta do? Come, I never have a promise, you know, bling bling for all the girl. I just love it when my fling fling control the girl. I make your head swell, I make your body swell, make you wanna be my one and only baby girl. Night out tonight, me give you love, forgive you. Girl, it ain't forget this kind of loving for me. Whoa, far can't, just can't go far. Forget the little loving I'm gone.
Paul's third album, The Trinity, was released on September 27th, 2005. The album produced 5 big hits: We Be Burnin', Ever Blazin', Give It Up to Me, Never Gonna Be the Same, and the US chart-topping smash hit, Temperature. The video of Give It Up to Me featuring Keisha Cole was featured in the film Step Up in 2006. He was nominated for 4 awards at the 2006 Billboard Music Awards, including Male Artist of the Year, Rap Artist of the Year, Hot 100 Single of the Year, and Pop Single of the Year for Temperature. He also won an AMA for Give It Up to Me, beating Kanye West and Nick Lachey, who were also nominated for the same award. Send It On from The Trinity featured on 2005 Advert. Paul often contributes his songs to various artists' albums by VP Records, and in 2007 of March, he returned to Jamaica to perform. With the good comes the bad. There are artists in the dancehall reggae type of arena that feels like Sean Paul was given special treatment due to him being light-skinned. There are a lot of reggae artists and dancehall and Afrobeat artists that are darker skinned, and they never got the type of attention that Sean Paul got. So that caused me to think, well, was Sean Paul getting the treatment because he was a superstar, or was he getting the treatment because he is a lighter tone in the industry? And I don't feel that way. I feel that Sean Paul is very talented. I think that regardless of what he looks like, that he was going to pop no matter what because he stayed true to his art. But let's get into what other people have to say, especially artists, about Sean Paul and his light-skinned privileged treatment.
Woman, the way that's hardcore, I wanna be keeping you up. I got the right weapon, stop and shelter you from the storm. Oh Lord, till I got the right tactics to turn you on and you're not. When I'm in a papa, you can be the man, love you. Because the girl them broke out to the floor, they don't wanna walk to the mama. We don't want a man, we can't turn it on, y'all make us see one never fire. Not time for the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa. Alright, yo, come back, pose and girl, you got to press up. But you know we start, cause girl, you're empty up. If you dance out of me, you fit test. I got the remedy for making these stress. Feel the blood to make God bless. Girl, if you wanted me, I think I'm best. And a life where we need to feel. Yo, well, I'm on the way to time, Paul. I wanna be keeping you up. I got the right temperature. You from the start. Hold on. Girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa. Alright, what me say? Girl, don't say me crazy now. This straight up it's on the beat that I play with you. Time for me get baby now. So stop going like you and get shady, yo. Woman, don't blame me now, cause I'm a friend and fight not good, yo.
Sean Paul speaks on colorism and whether his light skin gave him an advantage in the music industry. Dancehall superstar Sean Paul recently addressed the age-old issue of whether his lighter complexion gave him an advantage in the music industry, pointing out that it is a systematic issue which has resulted in him being the target of misled jealousy. Sean Paul was speaking on The Breakfast Club last week on a question relating to his longevity and chart success formula when he mentioned the continuous subject. His statements come more than a year after his former manager, Zachary Harding, mentioned during a forum that incarcerated DJ Vybz Kartel had raised questions about whether Paul's international success was due to him being light complexion. Sean Paul's quote, "A lot of people point to different systematic things on this earth like you know. The light skin thing and whatever. And I get it. There is different things that we are all caught in a systematic unbalance," Sean Paul said. "For me, that light skin argument always comes up. I did work hard, do have a little bit of talent, and try to ignore everything that is negative about the system and do the things my own way." Asked why light skin versus dark skin issue always comes up in conversations about international music, Sean Paul was very cautious in his response, pointing fingers again at what he said is the system, which might make it easier for persons of lighter hues to advance over darker light-skinned compatriots. Sean Paul's quote, "Or they might say it's easier because of how the system is set. Just for people being oppressed. It is a little bit of probably misled jealousy. But when you see the people in the street, no one says it. But mostly I think people might say things online or whenever they see me in the streets. They see me type of persons I am. Their opinion changes, their perception changes," he explained. In February 2020, during a panel discussion titled "The Business of Bob Marley" at the Bob Marley Museum, Sean Paul's former manager, Zachary Harding, said that Vybz Kartel once questioned whether Paul's international success was due to him being light-skinned. Sean Paul's quote, "He, Kartel, and I had a long conversation, and he started to ask whether Sean's brownness played in his success. And this was right at the time when Kartel started bleaching." Harding said, according to an article published by Loop Jamaica, "I just found it fascinating because he was fascinated with the question of was Sean's brownness an influential factor in his success versus Kartel's success." Harding said before pointing out that another Jamaican superstar, track legend Usain Bolt, has achieved significant financial success away from the sport while visibly black, and that at the end of the day, it's the product that wins. So another popular artist named Vybz Kartel definitely felt the way about Sean Paul and his success, not more so in the jealous way, but kind of envious, if you will, which kind of can be one and the same. But it's like, I'm a great artist and I push great music. I choose great beats. I write all my stuff and I don't understand why I'm not getting the Sean Paul type of treatment. The only difference is that he is lighter than I am. And Vybz Kartel has bleached. In other cultures and in other countries, especially places like Jamaica and places in Africa and others, bleaching is very common among black people. A lot of people bleach. It may not be as common here, although people still bleach here in America. In other countries, it is 10 times worse. And they look at it as something that's common. It's just not a big deal that people bleach. Even some people's children bleach in other countries. And Vybz Kartel was one of those people that felt if I bleached my skin, no different than Spice from back in the day on Love and Hip Hop, who really wanted to bleach her skin because she feels like she can be put in a different market. As long as I look how I look, I feel that I'm only going to make it a certain distance. If I change who I am and change my appearance, then I will go further. So that is what Vybz Kartel did. He started to bleach his skin because he felt like if I'm going to get that international success like Sean Paul, I have to look more like Sean Paul instead of just have my music being kind of common towards his. So yeah, Sean Paul has gotten a lot of energy from a lot of reggae artists and Afrobeat artists and dancehall artists due to his skin complexion, and them feel that he has gained favor over being light-skinned.
Clubbing, y'all, y'all make her please and leave it tugging now. Sipping Hennessy, we be bubbling, y'all. Set the mind at ease, we gotta take it slow. Yo, when it's the SP floating, don't provoke it, cause the girls are revoking, got to smoking. Best thing for the recreation, we get the best girls in every nation. Top of girls we supporting and promoting, and them love how we flow. Hear them shouting, first class ticket invitation, girl from New York. Hey yo, every day we be burning, not concerning what nobody wanna say. We be earning dollars turning, cause we minded what we pay. Some love gold and oil and diamonds, girls we need them every day. Recognize, 15 as we rise. Yo, tell them I face me, walk me, race me to me, writing up tune and drive them crazy. Time on a 2 bands of make ready for the girl them in every situation. We are the girl them proud, they know we flow with the lyrical content. Make them they flow and make the cup keep jumping, turn up the bass so the hear this pump. To the music, people choose it, shine a big girl and goes it well reputed. God, we are the girl them champion. Got enough of them like the great King Solomon. Good for the eyesight and the chest tight, and them ready for the eye night, just giving the light. Make we play, proof we are fearing. Hey, yo, we be burning, not concerning what nobody wanna say. We be earning dollars turning, cause we minded what we say. Gold and gold and oil and diamonds, girls we need them every day.
In 2012, Paul married his longtime girlfriend, Jodie Stewart, a Jamaican TV host. In August 2016, it was announced that the couple was expecting their first child. On February 26, 2017, Paul announced the birth of their son, Levi Blaze. Their second child, Remy, was born on August 20th, 2019. Back in 2000 to 2003, there was a lot of energy going around about Beyonce and Sean Paul. And if you notice, I left the song Baby Boy out because that is going to tie us into our next video, which I'm super excited to drop tomorrow. So make sure you check out the video between Beyonce, Sean Paul, and Jay-Z, and we will definitely dive and dig into what truly happened between these two people. They had a massive hit song, which was Baby Boy. It was on the top 100 of the Billboard charts. 9 weeks it sat at #1, and they only performed this song one time. I wonder why. We will definitely get into that in the next video. Thank you all for joining me, and we're gonna let Beyonce and Sean Paul take us out on their massive #1 hit, Baby Boy.
Certified quality, and that the gal them need and I cry for every day without apology. Walk them the right way, that is my policy. Yo, you the man say, Sean Paul, Bandit Jack, all the girls them think them like that. Beyonce, sing it now, young.
Baby boy, you stay on my mind, fulfill my fantasies. I think about you all the time, I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love.
My baby's clapping.
One thing about Sean Paul, what made him so amazing, is that his dancers were not like the run-of-the-mill dancers, the ones that just were there to expose their bodies and do things in that nature. He kept his girls dressed well. They had some of the best fashions, and not only did they have some of the best fashions, they were amazing dancers, and they were always in sync. To me, Sean Paul always wanted to flourish the dancing because in the Jamaican culture and the patois culture, dancing is a huge part of it, and moving your body correlates to the beat. So picking a really good beat is very dire when you are doing this type of music, and Sean Paul just couldn't go wrong. He knew what beat was going to make people move their body, and on top of that, Sean Paul could move his body too. So we loved him. He was a huge force to be reckoned with, and that's why I think that he was so talented, because it wasn't just the music, it was more. He had great dancing ability with his dancers. That was something that he definitely was precise with. His dancers had to look a certain way and also have to dance a certain way, because that was a big part of who he was. Sean Paul was a party. When he came onto the stage, instantly you wanted to move, you wanted to have a good time, and he's a nice looking guy. So he's really easy to look at. So that just made things just that much easier. Like, he looks good, he sounds good, he moves his body well, and on top of that, his dancers, they come with a lot of energy and just make you want to move as well. So it was literally like a party on the stage. So shout out to Sean Paul. He knew what he was doing. He absolutely did. A winning formula.
Flesh, flesh, fleshy, flex, flesh.